If you encounter a black cat while you're on your way home, please do not continue and get back to your home because some bad things might happen. It's bad luck. If your left palm gets itchy, you will soon owe money. If it is your right palm, the money is on your way. Not literally on your way like a black cat, but you get the point here. Superstition is in every culture worldwide. And when I say worldwide, I mean it. Because if you watch this video until the end, fingers crossed that you will realize that superstition belongs to the NBA culture too. Remember when MJ kept those Tar Heel shorts under his Bulls gear for some good juju? Or how about Jason Terry and his eccentric pre-game ritual of cuddling up with his opponent's shorts? Sounds like a fishy kind of superstition, right? But hey, don't snicker just yet. For years, one question has been bouncing around like a rogue basketball, one that sends chills down your spine. Is the Clippers curse for real? Wait, don't roll your eyes. This ain't some typical clickbaity conspiracy theory cooked up by some Joe Schmo after one too many beers on the lazy Thursday afternoon. No, this is a legit enigma that has had NBA fans and pundits scratching their heads for years. Stick around and let's crack this code together. The Clippers, our star-crossed franchise, first laced up as the Buffalo Braves back in 1970. Not much of a showstopper in their early days, until they put Jack Ramsey, the hoops whisperer himself, in the driver's seat. Now, this guy Ramsey, he is in the Coaching Hall of Fame, both top 10 and top 15. That's the equivalent of making the NBA's 50th and 75th anniversary teams. He was the LeBron James of coaching. Under Ramsey's watchful eye in the 1974-75 season, Bob McAdoo stepped up to the plate big time. He bagged the league MVP, led scoring for 3 seasons straight, and, you guessed it, 3 consecutive playoff appearances. Then, in a plot twist that would make a Hollywood scriptwriter blush, the Braves decided to sack Ramsey in '76. And boom, that was the start of a brutal 15-season playoff drought. Yikes! Being a beast of a coach, Ramsey found himself a new home pretty quickly with the Portland Trail Blazers. And guess what happened next? Teaming up with the big man Bill Walton, Ramsey brought home the championship bacon for Portland in '77. Meanwhile, the Braves, bless their hearts, kept bungling one personal move after another, like a hopeless romantic going through a lineup of 30 duds on a reality TV dating show. In 1976, they traded for Moses Malone. Yeah, that Moses Malone. And played him a grand total of 6 minutes over 2 games. Then Malone asked for a trade, and where did our man Mo end up? Oh, nothing big, just MVP, champion, and first ballot Hall of Famer. The Braves Clipper squad shipped out 3 potential Hall of Famers between '76 and '98, and they had the golden chance to pick up at least 10 Hall of Famers. But nah, that wasn't their style. They went for guys like Michael Olowokandi, aka Candyman, whose game was more suited to trick-or-treating than NBA hardwood. And wait till you hear this part. Come 2011, the Clippers were so eager to drop Baron Davis's bulky contract that they sent him packing to Cleveland, tossing in an unprotected first-round pick for good measure, all to secure Jamario Moon and Mo Williams. Looking back, the trade ain't all bad. Davis was raking in way too much dough, and on the heavy side, and inching towards the exit, given that his injury rap sheet ran longer than your significant other's retail therapy spree. And the Clippers being the Clippers, the Hoops deities had a different plan. They were always ready for a gag. Their odds to hit the jackpot in the 2011 lottery was a meager 2.8%. But they landed the winning combo. Too bad it also meant shipping off that pick to the Cavs, who were already sitting pretty with the number 4 spot in the 2011 draft. They used that bonus pick to scoop up Kyrie freaking Irving, a player as controversial as he is talented, but a probable Hall of Famer in the making. At this juncture, you gotta agree that there's more at play here than some mere mishap or rotten luck. And if we add more fuel to that fire, had the lottery balls and basketball world aligned, the Clippers could have either nabbed Chris Bosh or Dwayne Wade in the 2003 draft, having wrapped up the previous season 5th from the bottom. But nah, some cosmic puppeteer yanked him to the number 6 spot, where they ended up with Chris Kaman. If you didn't catch his games, Kaman was a competent center with a reliable mid-range shot who bagged an All-Star nod in 2010. But seriously, D-Wade was right there. only a leap into the top 5 away. Slap bang in the middle of these calamites was the biggest train wreck of them all. The dawn of the 81-82 season saw the Braves franchise snapped up by one Donald Sterling, a character notorious for his racist tendencies and possessing a few screws loose upstairs. I mean, could it get any worse than that duo? Sterling probably holds the dubious honor of being the first sports franchise owner pushed to sell his team not once, but twice. First was back in '82 for his tardiness in paying off creditors and players, and then in 2014 when a recording of him berating his girlfriend, V. Stiviano, for mixing with black folk surfaced. The kicker? Stiviano herself is of African American heritage, further highlighting Sterling's nutcase status. The latter incident ultimately led to Sterling handing over the franchise's reins to Steve Ballmer. Ballmer is a passionate owner, giving Mark Cuban a run for his money. However, Cuban couldn't dream of matching Ballmer's dance floor prowess. Surely, that's enough to shift the winds and dispel this curse, right? But no! Despite Ballmer's energetic backing and bottomless cash reserves, the Clippers are still shackled by an unseen affliction, now assuming a new guise. Instead of bungled trades and head-scratching draft picks, it's the playoff chokes and meltdowns that in many ways are tougher to swallow than simply being postseason no-shows. For example, take the 2015 Western Conference semifinals. The Clippers, featuring All-Stars Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, plus DeAndre Jordan, who snagged first-team All-Defense and third-team All-NBA that season, squandered a 3-1 lead against the Houston Rockets. They got clobbered in Game 5, losing 128-95, and squandered an 87-68 advantage at home against the Rockets, only to taste defeat 119-107 with James Harden casually observing from the bench. Picture getting thrashed by a blend of past his prime Josh Smith, who is perhaps the most overly confident yet dismal three-point shooter I've ever witnessed, and Corey Brewer. To illustrate the unlikelihood of that Smith performance, he only nailed 4 threes in 2 out of 73 playoff appearances. Game 7 saw a collective Rockets effort, winning 113-100, penning another chapter in the Clippers' tale of woe. And from 2016 to 2019, history repeated itself. The Clippers were their own worst enemies, getting booted out of the playoff first round each year. Then, in 2020, they raised the hopes of fans, snagging Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, only to throw away yet another 3-1 lead against the Denver Nuggets in the conference finals in the Orlando bubble. The next season saw a repeat conference finals loss to Phoenix, followed by missing the playoffs in 2022 and another trouncing by the Suns in 2023. Injuries play a special part in their recent tribulations, but that has always been part and parcel of the Clipper curse. Leonard seems set to avoid back-to-back games like the plague, while Paul George could injure himself just getting out of his car. PG sat out 9 more games than Anthony Davis over the last couple of seasons and was conspicuously absent in the 2023 playoffs. And it's not just Kawhi or PG. Sean Livingston had his noodle leg incident with them, Tiny Archibald blew out his Achilles, Danny Manning wrecked his knee, Loy Vaught injured his back, Elton Brand suffered an Achilles rupture, Blake Griffin missed his debut season owing to a patellar stress fracture, and the list goes on. I wouldn't bat an eyelid if their janitor ended up with bone spurs or something else. And I get it, this video ain't watch material for Clippers fans, but hey, don't shoot the messenger. Maybe it's not a curse by itself. It could just be a case of always being in the wrong crowd, which could undoubtedly hinder an organization's success, especially if these folks are calling the shots. Sterling may be out of the picture, but it'll take more than a measly 8 years to dispel the ominous shadow his reign casts for decades. This is Heroes of the Courtside, your stop for the NBA's most obscure yet fascinating stories. Thank you for watching.